Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro announced Saturday that most leaders of the Venezuelan opposition knew about plans to stage a violent coup in the country. Maduro said there were widespread rumors about the plan, and even former opposition presidential candidate Enrique Capriles knowing about the scheme, according to the president. The plan involved a jet attacking key positions, including the presidential palace and the Telesur offices.
Casi todos.
Almost all of them. Almost all of the known leaders of the so-called MUD knew about this attempt, knew about this ambush. Almost all of them.
Cristina Fernandez rejected accusations of conspiring with Iran in trying to derail a criminal investigation into the 1994 bombing of a Jewish community center in Buenos Aires that killed 85 people. The Argentine president took to the social media to respond to the allegations, saying, "Hatred, grievance, infamy, slander, we leave all that to them. We must keep on with our social programs like pensions, equal marriage, expansion of rights, collective labor agreements, the best minimum wage in all our history." Argentine officials have repeatedly denied the accusation of being involved in the case. Bolivian President Evo Morales vowed once again to recover his country's access to the sea. Speaking at the city of Oruro during a commemoration of the 1879 War of the Pacific, which stripped Bolivia from its coast, Morales said the current lawsuit filed by his government at the International Court of Justice is solid. The Bolivian leader called the conflict an invasion of the Bolivian territory by Chile. The Ukrainian government and rebel forces are now ready to proceed with the withdrawal of heavy weapons from the front lines. Kiev is awaiting confirmation from the rebels to continue their retreat. The measure is part of the Minsk agreement signed this week by the Ukrainian authorities and rebel forces. The withdrawal of weapons aims to create a 50-kilometer buffer zone. Former Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi will be tried over allegations of feeding intelligence to the Qatari government during his administration. Morsi could face the death penalty. Many of the 10 suspects in the investigation claim they have been tortured to provide false testimony linking the former president. Human rights groups say the case is another attempt by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to crack down on the Muslim Brotherhood.
Today in the Gaza Strip, a very scientific visit happened this morning after Tony Blair entered the coastal enclave via the Erez crossing, which is controlled by Israel. The visit was short, it lasted only for 5 hours. However, Tony Blair met with Palestinian ministers from the Palestinian Unity Government. He also visited some destroyed areas and also visited the UN Bahrain school that it is still sheltering and housing hundreds of Palestinian families whom lost their homes in the latest Israeli summer offensive on the Gaza Strip. There was no press conference held. However, Tony Blair kept tweeting about the situation in Gaza, how devastating the situation in Gaza is, and the quick need of the reconstruction and the quick need of help in the Gaza Strip.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has proposed a $46 million plan to encourage Jewish immigration from European countries in the wake of attacks in Denmark over the weekend. As he did after the Charlie Hebdo shootings, Netanyahu took advantage of the tragedy to call upon the Jewish community in Europe to move to his state, warning them that attacks are expected to continue. For a number of years, Israel has been struggling with declining birth rates. At this weekend's NBA All-Star Game, Golden State Warriors guard Stephen Curry honored Daht Shadi Barakat, one of the 3 Muslims killed in a shooting in North Carolina. The NBA star, who won the three-point competition, sported writing on his shoes paying tribute to the student who was killed in an incident that many consider to be an act of Islamophobia. Barakat, 23, was known to have been a fan of the talented guard. A new study by the U.S. National Space Agency, NASA, reveals that the United States will face severe droughts throughout its territory, which could last over 20 years. The study is based on current temperature increases caused by climate change. If these do not change drastically in the coming years, the severe droughts would devastate the country by the end of the 21st century. With Valentine's Day sweeping across Latin America, numerous mass weddings took place across the region to mark the occasion. Dozens of couples participated in a ceremony in Lima on Saturday, while some 400 couples tied the knot in Nicaragua's Port Allende in the capital of Managua.